Hello, friends. Crafty Kristen with you once again, along with my inevitable sidekick, Fiona the cat, who likes to chase pipe cleaners and cotton balls. At any rate, I hope you're ready for some fun, creative activities because today we have two crafts that we're going to make that go along with our lesson from John chapter 15, in which Jesus described how he was the truest of friends because he laid down his life for us. And so we're talking about what it means to be a friend and what it means to love and how important love is. So we're going to make two crafts that have to do with love and relationships. And the fun part is that both of these, in a way, can also coincide with Mother's Day, which happens to be coming up as well. So if you need a fun, handy Mother's Day gift, you can use them for that as well, especially this first one. The first one we're going to make is a gift that can be given away to a friend or a mom or someone else special in your life to show appreciation and love and demonstrate that friendship. So we're going to make a bouquet. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make some flowers. Then we are going to be wrapping our flowers in a little bouquet-like element. So you'll see how that goes. First, we're going to do the flowers. Now, what we're going to do here is you can use a couple of things for stems. I've got popsicle sticks and I also have pipe cleaners, so you can use it however you like. And then as far as the flowers themselves, I also have multiple options. You can use cupcake liners, you can use coffee filters, or just good old regular paper. So we're going to actually do one of each of those varieties just to give you some fun options. So the first one we're going to do a paper flower. So you're going to just cut out whatever shape you'd like your flower to be. So let's make this one we'll do kind of like a rose. So we're going to cut it out in sort of almost a bell shape. And then we're going to draw the rose elements. Now on each one of your flowers, you're also going to write something descriptive that shows how much you care or what's special about this friend / mom that you're making it for. So we're going to kind of give it that little rosy flare here. And then you're going to, let's say that we're doing this for a friend of some sort. You can just write anything like, I love to read with you. And again, these comments can very much be individualized and creative. And so then you can glue or tape, again, depending on how long you want this to be. We can use the whole pipe cleaner. We can snip it and use a half a pipe cleaner. So we'll attach that for a little stem. You can even curl this up if you want it to be a little shorter. So here's flower number 1. Now flower number 2, I'm going to use a popsicle stick and a coffee filter. And I'm actually even going to do a little bit of layering here. So I'm going to put a cupcake liner inside of the coffee filter. And on this is where I'm going to write my message. You could also use another piece of paper inside of there and write this special message on that. So here I'm going to write, you are so caring. Again, why I might recommend putting the paper inside of the cupcake filter because it tends to smudge here. And then you can also have some fun with these. Put some color on your coffee, or pardon me, on your cupcake liner. Put some more color on your coffee filter. There we go. To jazz it up and liven things up. And then once you've got both of these things nicely colored, obviously this is the time-lapse version, so it's sort of a rush job. So once you've got that beautifully done, you will attach whatever layers you've got, papers or cupcake liners or coffee filters put those all together. And then we will attach all of that onto our stick. So here's our lovely flower. We're just going to stick that right on the stick. And now for our final version, one more flower here. I'm going to take my cupcake liners. You could even double up or spread them out or make it look, spread one out, put one in the middle. That kind of gives it a daffodil vibe, almost. And then I can put another little piece of paper inside of that. Cut myself a nice little circle and add a final comment. And of course, you can do as many of these as you like to make your lovely bouquet. And now, once we've got all of our elements together, so here I might say something else about my special friend. You are so smart. Again, use whatever you like to compliment your friend with. So here, I'll glue that on, then glue on my stick. And now I have 3 different varieties of flowers. You could do them all the same. Again, do whatever works for you. And now I'm going to make my little wrapper. And of course, you could do this a number of ways. You can use an old peanut butter jar and make it like a vase. You can use a box and put your, I don't know who puts their flowers in a box, but maybe you want to. But for this, we're just going to kind of wrap up a cone shape here. Take a regular old piece of construction paper and fold it over. Now you can do this. You can do this just very, very simple and basic. You can snip a portion of it off if you want it smaller. You can use a very long piece of paper if you want it longer. There's a number of options. And, of course, highly recommend, if you would like it to be extra special, is you could always do a design on it first. You could write a little note. I say first because once you get it folded up, it's a bit hard to write on. But you could write it on it afterwards as well. So we will tape or staple this, or glue. But again, glue is just going to take longer to dry. So I would go with the tape or staple option. And we will tape that on there. And then you can, if you want to risk writing on it after it's punched up, and it's a bit harder than a flat surface, you could say something like a bouquet for Mom, a bouquet for Jimmy, Joe, Bob, a bouquet for, or a bouquet of friendship. And then you can throw some fun stickers on there, some extra decorations. Get as creative as you want. Use whatever time you have, of course. Again, this is the abbreviated version because we don't need to be here forever, but you can do the long version. If you have a long-winded pastor and you're in children's church time and you need something to do. So here's our little vase, our carrying case for our flowers, and then we'll just drop our flowers into our little wrapper or carrying whatever. And there we have our bouquet. And here you have something to present to Mom or to friend or to brother, sister, neighbor, grandma, whoever you prefer to give your bouquet to. So that is craft number 1. Craft number 2 is going to be rather simple, and this is one that you can use for a number of passages or a number of stories because we're talking about love. So we're going to make a little hanging decoration to remind us of the many ways that we can show and share love with one another. So we're going to do this on a paper plate. Now you can do this just with a bunch of, we're going to put some hearts on this paper plate. You can make your hearts into a garland and just string them together, Or you can put your hearts on cups and put them in a little shoebox. Or there's a lot of different ways you can do this, of course. But we are going to put our hearts on a paper plate to remind us of the many ways that we can show love to one another and demonstrate God's love with our neighbors, friends, brothers, sisters, etc. So we're going to start off by making some hearts. Now, of course, the simplest way to make a heart is to fold your paper in half. If you've never done this before, which we can do a 101 class if you've never cut a heart before. But we're simply going to snip from the bottom. I always like to say it's kind of like making an ice cream cone shape, and then you've got your heart. So there's your easy crash course in heart making skills if you have not learned that already. And you can make different sizes. You can make bigger ones. You can make smaller ones. I also recommend some different shades. So perhaps we do some in red, we do some in purple, we do some in any shade really. And this can be something that goes for Valentine's Day. It can be something that goes for talking about God's love, which we're of course doing right now. We're talking about how we share the love of Christ. For talking about, you could use it for Mother's Day. Lots and lots of options. You can even cut a heart out of a heart. That's kind of fun. So we've got several hearts that we have made here. And now what we're going to do is on each one of these hearts, we're going to write a way that we can show love or a person that you can show love to. So you can brainstorm this with your students or with your kids as you're going through it and talk about what does it mean to love people? I mean, do we really have to love everybody? And what does that look like exactly? So what we're going to do is on each one of the hearts, we'll come up with a different idea. So here's where your fun brainstorming comes into play. So maybe you're talking and you say, okay, well, I can show love to my parents by cleaning my room because that shows that I care for what they are telling me to do. And maybe you want to show love to a neighbor. Maybe you want to bring them something special. So let's say we're going to take the neighbors a cake or cookies or groceries or something. Now let's say you want to show love to someone far away or someone close. Write a kind letter. Now do this as much as you want. You want to fill the plate. So you want to brainstorm lots and lots of ways to show love. Here's a good one. Give a hug. Or we might have, you can show love by donate to a charity. So these are all things you want to come up with really practical, doable things because the idea is we're going to hang this up. And remember, oh, here's some great ways to show love. And here's one of perhaps the most important way we can show love, pray. So once you've got all of your ideas, we're going to take a paper plate. Now I'm going to put my frame heart in the center of this here. And in the center of it, you can write something like, how do I show love? Or what does love look like? Because that's kind of another theme that we're talking about here. Jesus said, love looks like laying down your life for your friends. Well, that's a pretty powerful statement. How else can I show love? So now I'm going to just glue my hearts all around my plate. And then you can either turn this into, if you want to hang it on your fridge, you can turn it into a magnet. If you want to hang it in a bedroom or a bathroom or some kind of room, you can pop a hole in there and put some string or pipe cleaner to hang it up. But then we have our lovely reminder of several ways that we can show love to one another. And remember, the most important love of all, the love that Jesus has for us, that he wants us to to share and pass on with all of those around us. Even the furry ones, right, Fiona? Right. Well, anyways, I hope this gives you some good ideas for sharing this lesson and ideas with those around you and for communicating the important elements that Scripture has to tell us about God's love for us. We have new craft ideas and new children's messages that come out every week. So if you like this, feel free to subscribe, get notifications so you can be ready for the next videos whenever they come out. We hope you have a wonderful week. Make some crafts, make some disciples. We'll see you next time.